Oi, one of those afternoons where sometimes you have to remind yourself that who you are is not a mistake. And we come to this world with different personalities and different types of beings. We are different beings with different journeys. We all have different purposes. And we will piss off certain people in our journey. But who you are is not a mistake. It's not an error. The person you are is meant to be, as long as you are happy with the person you are. Sometimes we do pick up certain habits that means we are this certain type of an individual. But if you're happy with that, and that's what's going to drive you to your next step, and this is the next motivation to your next step, then why change? There will be somebody who's going to understand you. If you are a cruel person and you're happy with being a cruel person and you're okay with it, don't change. But just understand that with being cruel and being amongst the cruel people in that field, they are the masters of those. Sorry, I got distracted there a bit. That's how life is. So what I'm saying is, remember that if you are, let's use a very positive analogy that it's so easy to get to. If you are a nice people or a nice person, sorry, not people. If you are a very, very nice person, it's very nice. And if you are a very overly nice person, so much so that people will take advantage of you, you also need to understand that you've aligned yourself in a position where people will take advantage of you, not because there's something wrong that you are doing, because that's the nature of everything. That's how everything is. And which is bad, because it's not nice when you see somebody taking advantage of a nice person. But on the other side, if you are a very rude person, you must understand that you are in the rudes department. There will be somebody who will out-rude you. When you are nice, there is always somebody who out-nice you. I'm sorry to use those terms, they just came to me. There's always somebody who's going to out-nice you, meaning you will by default find people that's going to be very nice to you. So don't change who you are because by you being nice, it's making someone uncomfortable. If you are a very outspoken person, you like to get into a certain area and shake everyone's hands and greet everyone individually, you don't stop doing that just because one or two individuals are uncomfortable with that kind of approach. It is who you are, and believe me, it is going to pay off. But if you are a very negative approach, or you are a very not so well approach, you must understand that there is going to be somebody who's going to out not so well you, outsmart you in that field of not being a very well approach or negative approach or very grumpy approach. And that's the nature of life. Sometimes people will ask you, why do you go to a place of prayer? It is because you are regaining your consciousness, and it doesn't matter what kind of prayer and religion you are. People revisit, and they have Sundays, Sabbath day, and other days, because they're revisiting their consciousness to recheck themselves on who they are and realign themselves. If it works for you, it works for you. Who are you to judge that person? However, believe me, if you are a nice person, there is going to be somebody who's going to out-nice you. If you are a very learned person who reads, and we can even use the Bible, if you're a person who reads the Bible a lot, there is going to be somebody who will outread you on that Bible. But it's a good thing, because in that field, you are learning, you are growing when that happens. You are not stuck. But when you are a bad person where you manipulate things, there's going to be a person who's going to out-manipulate you. And in that field, it will cause you to have a major negative distraction in your life. That is why I say, if this makes you happy, stick with it. However, understand that the nature of the journey you are taking, it does have a consequence, and it will have an impact. So when you are an ordinary person, there's going to be a person who's going to be extraordinary, and you will get ordinary things. If you are a person who's very driven, you will come across other people who are very driven. And these people will also drive you. And if you are a criminal, you will come across a person who's more of a criminal, and they will exercise their criminal towards you. If you are a very enthusiastic person or a very, there's so many examples we can use, but just understand that who you are, it's okay. If you're outspoken, for example, I'm a very outspoken person. I like a good vibe. I want to be okay. But I also have a side of me where I just, that people don't know, although I'm a good person, but people don't know. But it doesn't mean that because it makes someone uncomfortable that I am this outspoken person that I'm going to greet you and it's making you feel uncomfortable. It does make other people feel comfortable. But I need to understand that is somebody who's going to be coming to do that on me. And the thing is, they might even do it on the days where I'm not even feeling well. And I need to understand that's the nature of the field I'm in. Some people might call it in different, you can approach it in a different ways of a learning book. We call it the laws of the universe. That the universe, the world is governed by laws. And we all know, like, for example, in South Africa, there's the laws of a taxi. And the thing is, no one is going to teach you these, but if you don't know, you are going to get hurt. If you go to the taxi in the morning with a 200 Rand note, you are going to get hurt. No one is going to teach you that, and no one will forcefully teach you this. You are going to get hurt. So you have to learn that before you walk into an environment or a field, that amongst this field that I'm playing in, these are the laws. And when you are learned, you can try and you will succeed in making sure that you are in this field, but you have a security towards this and towards that to make sure that you don't get hurt. But just understand that there's always somebody who's going to outsmart you in that field. In reading, when you find somebody who outsmarts you, it's a very beautiful thing. In showing generosity, when you find somebody who outdoes that, who does it more than you, it's a very good moment. Like, you really enjoy those moments. You will look forward to those moments to say, wow, they hit me with my own medicine. I wasn't waiting for that. And there's a lot. So be happy if it makes you happy and you feel that it's right. And most importantly, if things are coming from the good intention, because that's what matters. It's your intent. It's your intention. What are your intention? Do you have evil intention? Do you have cruel intention against or with this process that you're doing? And if your answer is you're coming from the right place, and learn as well that now that you are being a nice person, learn to say, okay, I am a nice person, but this is the consequence of where I am. So learn, study. There is, once you learn, you expand your brain. And I once came across a very learned person who said, a stretched brain cannot go back to its original form. And that is the truth. A stretched brain cannot go back to its original form. So learn when you say, if I smile a lot, these are the things that's going to happen to me when I smile. There are the goods and there are the bads, but if you smile a lot, the good will supersedes the bad. If you are very generous towards people and you're a very nice person, the bad of being that will supersede. Yes, you will encounter that, but the bad will, the good will supersede. The bad will never win. The bad doesn't win. The moral of the story is, yes, sometimes you go through a place where we are exercising to be nice, and the only way we can be professional is when God brings, or the universe bring, these people who will be difficult towards us, and it will challenge us. And when it does challenge us, it makes us question what we're doing, and we feel like we want to stop. But do not stop. It's actually the right thing. You are doing the right thing. Don't stop. Keep doing it as long as you know your intention is right and you're coming from the good place and you are not doing it to harm someone. And if you can uplift someone in any way, if you can do that in any way, do it. But not everyone will be appealing to that. So let's understand that. Learn that that's a law of what you're doing. But at the end of the day, good will win. The light will always shine in the dark. When there's light, we don't see the darkness. We don't see. But when there's darkness, even no matter how dark it is, you will always see that sparkle of light. And the light will always win. And the nice thing is, the more you focus on the light, the more it grows. So focus on it. I am here to share the light and love, and I in no way intend to impose who I am onto someone, but I'm sharing, and I'm not going to stop because this is who I am. And I wish to reach as many people as I can, and I will, because people need to hear these messages. People need to know who we are. We need to speak. That is why even God, even Jesus, taught us to pray and say, pray, because we need to hear our own voices. We need to hear the messages. We need to pray and get into a certain place. Because when you pray, you are speaking. Speak, whether you're speaking the message or you are uplifting someone or you're doing something, or just speak. Have good intentions. You are going to win. Oi.